All right, so today we're going to be looking at variables and data types inside of Python. So the first data type is what is called a Boolean. So Boolean, for example, can only be equal to true or false. So that is the only thing that it can do. It can either be right or it's wrong. So true or false. Then the next thing what we got here is called an integer. Now an integer is whole numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 10, 100, anything along those lines. Then next we got what is called floats, which are numbers that have decimal places inside of them. So for example, pi. So 3.14, whatever numbers after that. Those probably aren't right, but and 45.31. These are what are called floats. Then next we got strings. So strings is just a sequence of characters that are enclosed in quotes. So it can be name, I don't know, just anything that is a word but it's inside of quotes. And now with strings in Python, numbers can also be considered a string because it is enclosed inside of quotes. So if you wanted to do just 3, that would be considered a string as well. That is because it is enclosed inside of quotes. Now with Python, they have double quotes, which I believe is still valid, as in using just single quotes, just like the rest of them. So this is considered a string. Don't pay any attention to the commas. Now, whenever you use commas in there, that just you're separating the stuff in between it. So let's go with my nickname, Scooter. So these are the 4 basic types of data types in Python. So next what we're going to do is variables. So a variable basically only holds data, I should say. So a variable is only just a name that holds a value. So I think of variables as it being like a wallet. So a wallet, all it does is just holds your money, your credit cards, cash, coins, whatever. That's the only purpose of a wallet. It's just to hold the value. So with variables, you can name them whatever you want to name them. So if you wanted to do variable, that's perfectly fine. The only thing that you cannot do with Python is there are certain words in Python that have a meaning, and you cannot name your variables the same as those. And you'll get an error if you happen to name your variables the same as those special words in Python. So I'm going to have a variable that is going to hold the value of my name. Matter of fact, I think I'll change this variable name to name, so that way it makes more sense. So I have a variable called name, which is my name. So it holds the value. So this variable would be considered a string. And then now we got another variable called number. And then I want this number variable to be equal to 100. So this number variable is equal to 100. And then now I want to make another variable called decimal, which I'm going to make it a float, or float. Put an S on there, so it's considered a float. So like I said before, a float is a number that has a decimal place in it. So decimal equals 3.1343. So this is considered a float number. And then now I'm going to do a Boolean. So I have a Boolean called is true. So is it true or is it not? So, and that is true variable is going to be equal to true. So anytime I come back and look at this variable is going to hold the value true. So just like with how you see in math, like 3 plus 1 is equal to 4, it holds the value 4. So in this case, look at the equal sign and it'll tell you what the value is of it. So is true is going to equal true, decimal is going to equal 3.1343, number is going to equal 100, and name is going to equal scooter. So these are the 4 basic types of data types. These are the 4 basic data types in Python.